come join us out here.
This is kind of a new chapter for Alaska Cut the Cord here. If you remember last year, we had tons of snow and I had absolutely no place to work on anything, and it sucked. We actually drove the snowblower into the furnace room to work on it because that was the only place I had.
That's not a normal thing to do.
I don't think people do that, no.
No?
So I work for a company where I work 45 to 50 hours a week. It's a lot of work. It's pretty stressful, but it's the best place I've ever worked. It's awesome. Next to the last place. In any case, they donated this shed to me and Phyllis. It's a really old shed. It's actually got quite a bit of history behind it. The Cottle sfuel sign up there means a lot to a lot of people, and we're not going to wreck it. In fact, we're going to preserve it and highlight it. However, in the past 60 years, the shed has suffered some excruciating damage, as you can see. All around the bottom, it is beat to death. But on the inside, structurally, it's incredibly sound, and it's, I dare say, overly built for a shed anywhere. Everything is 16 on center. Including 2x6 floor joists, 2x6 trusses up there, and even the wall studs, even though they're just 2x4, they're still 16 on center. So we are going to renovate this and probably make a lean-to or two off of it, and yeah, this is going to be my little workshop. I think the general plan is to bring a decent enough size lean-to off the front side and possibly even pour a concrete pad so that I can work on vehicles and stuff outside and have a flat, nice place to work. And we'll figure out a heat source. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I thought about building my own oil drip stove. I don't know that time will permit for something like that. But in any case, what we're doing, we're going to cut off the bottom 4 feet of the mangled aluminum siding that's on here. I'm going to put another nailer on there and some J-channel, and I got all this tin for free from a friend, and I'm going to put that up and do a wainscoting on it. Yeah, lots of work to do. It's the end of July and winter is coming. So what I did is I went from the inside with my cutoff wheel and I cut as far as I could on here. Now I'm just going to connect the dots, so to speak, and then we'll be able to take off that bottom layer. So yeah, we have some structural stuff to do. This is all junk here in the front, and there's a split 2x4 over there. And unfortunately, the doors open inwards. So oopsies, if you put something in here that just fits in here, you won't be able to close the doors because they won't swing past it. So we got to figure out something there. I think I may just flip them around and do it that way.
Can you do that sound effect again? Okay.
And flip them around the other way. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of history, and let's give it a new life. That's where my battery died. Woohoo! One down, 87 more to go. Well, there we go. All of the super damaged siding is removed, and nicely enough that got rid of a lot of holes and such. But now these stringers, these middle ones, are going to be okay, but I'm going to add one here, and I'm going to have to replace most of the bottom. I see, just due to water damage over time, or they're split from moving the shed 15 times. They're just not in good condition. So I'm going to replace this bottom one and add a new one in here, and then we'll be ready for our J channel and then the new tin on the bottom. So, I mean, I know at the moment you probably don't think it looks better, but it looks a lot better. It was just so beat up. I don't know how many times it's been moved. The company that I work for bought this company out, and they got the shed, and they moved the shed, and then a couple years ago they moved it again. They filled it up with random stuff, so it's getting a new life here. So let's do it right. Okay, so now we're gonna get off the old wood that isn't any good anymore and prep it for some new stuff. So let's get that going.
That's good stuff right there.
Good for bonfire tonight.
Yay.
That's about it.
You got everything put back in place?
Yeah, it's all back together now. Okay, so next day, and we're getting ready to put up the wainscoting. What I'd like to do when I cut this, there's two ways to do it. There's an actual corrugated shear that actually has the cutout with the ribs in it. Makes it real easy, but I don't have one. So I use an uncut edge from another piece with the same profile. I'll do 2 marks on the outside and then draw a marker mark on it and cut it off with the what?
A marky mark?
A marky mark. Cut it off with cutoff wheel. So I got one piece of the J trim off. It's, you know, the shed is still going to have, we'll call it character. Last time I was doing this, it was 20 below it.
Oh. Is this better or worse than that?
Oh, it's much better. Handling metal when it's 20 below sucks.
So you'll be able to get 3.
I'll be able to
Three
get
sections.
3 out of these 12 footers, and then just 2 out of the 10 footers. I think they're 10 footers. we got the first wall of wainscoting done. I think it looks absolutely amazing. To be honest with you, when it got here, the aluminum siding was so torn up and it had orange paint on it for oversized. But now I can honestly tell you, this is going to be nice. And as it stands right now, we've got about $380 into this whole shed. So that's pretty awesome. A lot of sweat equity. I spent all day long yesterday on it, but this only took us maybe an hour, and we got one side done. So that looks awesome. Good job, Phyllis. Good job, Phyllis. High
I think
five.
that was all me.
It was all you.
Woohoo!
You rock.
Yeah.
Hi, how's it going?
How you doing?
Well, it's gone from raining for 4 days straight to semi-sunshine and complete humidity. I haven't felt my glasses are fogging up. So in any case, what we're doing here, we had originally set the shed up approximately where we thought it needed to be. The flood, according to this line on here, showed us that we were too low. So we just raised it another, and it wasn't level. So we just raised it about another 13 inches on that side and 10 inches on this side, which should keep us more than clear. But now I had put this new treated piece on here because this is where the ramp is going to go to drive snow machines, four-wheelers, whatever we got in there. But I need to have a support under this side, and before I do that, I'm going to wait for the airplane. Before I do that, I'm going to do some significant leg bolting of this into the structure so it's actually supporting the weight properly. So I'm going to do that now. And then today also, one of the flaws in here is, I don't know if you can see in the back there's that random blue piece. Well, there used to be a man door back there, or a service door, and they took it out and just stuck a piece of tin in there, and it's completely not right. So we are going to actually install a window over there and fix that up so it doesn't look that way. And then we bought, I think, is enough insulation for the walls of it. It's not gonna.
And we bought a fly fishing rods today.
It was a squirrel moment if I ever saw one. So we got the window, we got the insulation that we're going to try to get in. We're kind of rushing here. It's middle of August, and temps are going to start dropping here before too long. So we got to get this done and a couple other projects you haven't seen yet. So yeah, let's get going on this and keep it looking better. This is Adam from the last cut the cord, day number 37 on the shed build. I kind of showed you a brief picture yesterday of how messed up this was. So I framed it with my header and all my cripples and all of that, ready to go on the outside and install a window. At least we'll have some light coming in here. And it got rid of all that blue tin that was on the outside. So
What was your favorite part?
it actually was. I really wanted that gone. So I will get this going and yeah, show you the results when it's done. Hey, this is Adam. Wow, forgot my name.
This
for a
is
minute.
Adam.
This is Adam today. This is Adam from Last Cut the Cord, day number 1000 something, working on the shed that you just saw. And today we're gonna fix this problem, which is how we get in and out of the shed. It is inconvenient, and what we really need is a ramp. because I'll be putting snow machines, four-wheelers, anything that needs to be worked on. Stairs aren't going to do me any good. I need a ramp. So what we've got, I'm getting set up here. I'm going to do 3 long ones that are supported off the shed down to the ground, 8-footers, and I'll flat top those, and then the rest of my log I will use the elastic chainsaw mill, and I will make the boards for it out of these here. So let's get started. Okay, so I got my 3 runners peeled, and now I need to flat top them. For this, I'm not using the ladder, I'm just using a 2x6. And then I am using these timber lock screws to hold it down, making sure that I know how much sticks below so I don't hit the screw like I did last year. That was a disaster. And something, I don't know if I showed you last year or not, but I had what was left of a butcher block top, which is a really stable, dry sort of setup. And I took those pieces here and I made some step blocks. So what I do, I've got 1.5 inches in that direction, I've got 2 inches in that direction, I've got 1 inch, and then 1.5 inches that way. So what I do when I set up my mill, I put those blocks in between here so I can get my setup really quick and even. I used to try using the measurements on here, and to be honest, it was not accurate. It did not work worth a darn. So I've got my little setup blocks now, and they help quite a bit. They really get you set up fast. So fast and even, so you're not cutting a board that's 2 inches here and 1.5 inches down here. We're not trying to make shiplap siding. So these 3 boards, I'm just going to flat the tops, and then I can cut the angles on them and install them on the building. And then my next setup will be milling the boards to go on the deck. And then I got something else kind of cool today. I know you're looking at this thinking, wow, what a piece of junk. This old snow machine track is going to go down the center of the deck, and that way when you go to drive your snow machine on it, it will grip those really well and it'll drive right in there. Without those, it won't drive up the ramp. So meanwhile, I guess I'll get to flat topping these 3. See how this goes. That turned out absolutely beautiful. That is exactly what we want. That'll give us a good surface to nail our boards to. No chatter. Yeah, she worked out real good. Okay, perfect. I'll just do 2 more, and then that part of the project is done.
Now what is happening?
Well, I did a thing, and as you can see on the picture, this is a edging mill, so you can, no better way to show you than this. You can use a sawmill or a chainsaw on a vertical way. So here they flatted the top like we have here, and then you can mill the 2 sides and you can make beams. A lot of people call them a beam mill, and they show how you can make a fixture, so you can do it that way too. I milled all the logs flat. The problem is, if I just start cutting them, I end up with a live edge on both sides. Well, I need boards, and I can't run that through a table saw because both edges are all wiggly. So I'd like to be able to set this up and mill one edge flat, so you'll be flat here you'll be flat here, and then mill my boards out, and then run it through the table saw to mill these off. So that's kind of my goal, but I've never used it. I've never used one, period. Don't really know what all is involved. And somewhere I have instructions. Well, I'm gonna get the instructions. I'm gonna go through this and try to set it up. When I get it set up, I'll get back with you. Well, here it is, I guess. So what I'm using is that same 2x6 that I used to flat top them. You screw down this rail 1/4 inch back from the edge, and you square this up, and one side rides on the 2x6, one's guided on the rail. So when I'm done, and I'm not concerned, if I was making beams, I'd want to make sure I cleaned up 100%. I don't need to clean up 100%, not for these. I want to get the maximum width of the boards that I can. So if I don't 100% clean up on that top one, because it's a radius, might have a little bit of live edge left, I'm fine with that. So I can take this off and show you what we got. And there you have it. How cool is that?
You got a half of a square thing.
That's awesome.
So my question is, so you're gonna do boards, right?
Yep.
Well, you're gonna want to run them through the table saw to get them to the right size anyway.
Well, I don't really care. This is just for a platform.
Wouldn't it be faster to cut all these?
Honestly, on as fast as that just went, it would be, because then if I cut this side straight, when I cut them off of here, they're done boards.
They're done.
Yeah.
Then
and
you don't.
That was a lot less work than I thought it was going to be. So I think I'm going to do that.
I mean, I hate to save you time and effort, but.
Well, then first for everything.
Right.
Okay, so it is important, if you're going to use it, to be squaring up two sides of a log so that you don't cut a trapezoid here, is that you put this up and then you measure from the finish edge in on both sides, and that will keep the sides uniform parallelness all the way down. And honestly, as quick as this runs, it runs quicker than the table saw.
So you think it was worth it?
Absolutely.
Huh.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. Like I said, I might have a little bit of live edge, but this is going to be my top, so I don't really care. But
you don't have the bark on it, so it's not like you're gonna get the critters.
Yeah, so we are 7.5 inches, 7.5 inch beam. So yeah, I'm gonna do, and not all of them are gonna be the same. They're different sizes, but I will get after it here and do the other ones.
Make some log or boards.
Yeah, I'm gonna square up. The way I did this, I peeled these completely, and normally I wouldn't do that, but I peeled them because we try to use every single thing that we can from the log. There's not a lot that goes to waste. Like the sawdust here, we'll scoop that up. That'll go in the chicken coop. These thinner pieces off the side, those are nice and dry and thin. We'll use these for starting fires in the house. So those will work good for that. And then the other ones, the thicker edgings off the top and the bottom, Phyllis has a decoration plan for those. So they're not just going to be firewood, we're going to use those as well. So nothing goes to waste if we can help it. So
Hey, focus.
I was very focused. Whew. So what are you doing, Phyllis?
Insulating.
Yeah? How's that going for you?
Well, it's going really good, and then I got to that wall there,
Yeah.
and that board there is kind of being a pain in my...
Why didn't you just take it down? Because we don't need it.
Because the supervisor didn't tell me that we didn't need it.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So.
you totally don't need that. No, no, no. You don't
No?
need it. No.
Okay.
How many rolls have you gone through? Oh, you still got 4 left. Oh. And,
Might have 1.5 left.
and we will have to get all the way to the top too. So,
Well, that looks like fun.
yeah,
Angles and measuring and stuff.
I'm sure you'll do fine. Okay, so back out here, I've got all of the boards that I'm going to turn into lumber, 3-sided, and now I'm ready to actually start making boards. Been a long time getting ready for that. Earlier I had mentioned how I made blocks for setting this chainsaw mill up. Here's what I'm talking about. These were part of a butcher block, and they're a real stable wood, and I keep them dry and take care of them. But both of these are 1.5 inches right here. So I set those under there. These nuts are loosened up, and I'll bring it down, and I always tighten this side first and then this side. It seems like the head of the mill will actually tilt it a little bit, and if you tighten this side first, this side will be loose. So do this side and then this one, and then you can avoid cutting the goofy boards that are thicker on one edge than the other. So yeah, let's get this set up and start making some boards. Okay, we've got our 3 beams in now for our ramp. I'm just using some timber screws. Show you one, but these are made specifically for putting timbers together. They're really nice. They're really expensive. They're like $2 a piece, $3 a piece, depending on the length. But they're made specifically for doing this. I use them in applications where I have to use a screw repeatedly, and they just seem to last forever. So once I've got these done, then we're going to come by and we're going to put a support board underneath each one of these. So these are actually going to be resting on a board not just being held in with screws. I think that's a lot safer.
I don't like it. Take it apart.
Nope.
Oh.
Coming together.
Ah.
It's gonna be much nicer, huh?
Last one.
3 screws over here and it's done. Oh, that's gonna be so nice.
You're not gonna like it.
I think I'm gonna love it with all my heart. After walking up chunks of wood for weeks. Killing my back. Here it is. That'll take whatever we can throw at it. You could drive a car up that.
Why don't we just build a bridge on our road?
Right. Just make our whole road out of a bridge. This
Boardwalk.
0.2 mile boardwalk that we just drive down.
Yeah.
And forget the road, let it do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It's gonna take me a while.
Yeah.
Here.
Good. I know I'm not supposed to use a roller on stain. This is not the quite right roller tray.
Not even close.
No. But you know what? I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah, because if we don't, this is forever going to be out in the rain and the snow. So if we can get a stain on it now, it's just gonna help, and I think it'll soak into this raw wood pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll get at least this top surface done, and then we can get the stinger on. Jen would be so proud of you.
No, she would be yelling at me right now.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to use a roller for stain. It doesn't get in the hose is good. But Jen's not here to help me, so.
Lazy Jen. So lazy. Okay, let's get her done, and then we'll get the stinger on there next. We were just finishing up for the day. As you can see here, we were successful. We've got the stinger on there, the old snow machine track, so a snow machine will drive up it. Got to bring a little bit of dirt down here in the front to level that off. But all in all, if we were to buy all the materials to do this, we would be probably in the neighborhood of $400. The fasteners I had left over from the tree house, the boards we milled ourselves, the snow machine track didn't cost us anything.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, just a little bit of time. Wouldn't want to walk up that barefoot though, it seems a little harsh, but yeah, so this is going to be the end of part 1. We got a ways to go on the shed as far as the interior goes, and I'm going to put another window right up here. But yeah, it's going to probably be a couple of weeks. This is quite a bit of work, but yeah, stay tuned for part 2 when we finish it up and actually start using it. Because I've got a bunch of stuff, and that shed over there, trailer, that has made that trailer unusable since we got here, and that's kind of the purpose for this shed. So in any case, this is Adam and Phyllis from Alaska Cut the Cord. Love you, bye.